Well, what is going on, gang? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It's very nice to have you here. I've got something on the table that I really like. Bob Terzuola is the designer of this. Bob has been around for a very long time. He essentially wrote the book on tactical knives. Look him up. I'm not here to sell Bob. He's a very nice guy, by the way. I've met him. His designs have been persistent over the years. He's done a lot of stuff that I really like. Way back in the day when Drop, you guys remember Drop when that was a thing? He released this, which was the CTF. This is the Compact Tactical Folder. You can see the lineage, right? More recently through MKM, he's had the clap. Again, you can see the family line, but those of you that have watched my channel for a while will know what was wrong with these two for me. Now, don't get me wrong, these are two of my favorite smaller knives, but I like a big knife. And so a few years ago, when CKF, Custom Knife Factory, got together with Bob and released the Eagle Rock, which is what this is, I was really into it and absolutely couldn't afford one. These are $650. However, recently I have sold some stuff and moved some stuff around, and this appeared on Blade Binge, and I said, yeah, now's the time. His knives are persistent in their design aesthetic. You can see they tend to share. This one's a little different, but not much. These two in particular very much share a design aesthetic. The Eagle Rock is a monstrous version of the Terzuola, designs that are out there. I am going to try to pull this back a little bit because this is a big knife. How are we doing? Yep, that looks good. Let's take a look what you get in the CKF Eagle Rock. Now, this is the original release. They made one more recently in red carbon fiber. Not my thing. So I was very happy to find this one on Blade Binge. The action is superb. You can use the thumb disc. You can use the little flipper, either one. It is not particularly deep carry, but Bob's designs rarely are. The blade has a lovely compound grind. It is thicker and heftier towards the back of the knife where you're most likely to be pushing on heavy material. It is slicier up towards the front of the blade where you're more likely to be doing draw cuts or poking things. It's got lovely jimping right back here, although I land up here. This is for a more push, but when I'm working with this knife, I tend to be up a little further. The handle has a little bit of shaping in it, but it's relatively neutral, which is very nice. As you can see, it is a liner lock. Some gorgeous carbon fiber. It's titanium. It's got Mokutai pivot collars, which I just think is a nice touch. The thumb disc is just titanium. It is running on bearings. It's got basically a full-length back spacer. It's got a little bit of billboarding on it. It's got his name on the clip. And, yeah, this is his logo. Custom Knife Factory was, I feel like they were very happy to be working with him, and so they gave him a lot of naming on the knife, but whatever. It is very comfortable to carry and to use, and it is big. The clap, which is a terrible name for a very nice knife, made by MKM, as you can see, it has his little logo, considerably smaller. Also liner lock. I mean, I really love this old CTF from Drop. This is a great knife. S35VN, titanium liners. as small knives go, these really are two of my favorites. But anyway, so there it is for size comparison. Again, you can see the DNA, which I think is very cool. Let us focus on the Eagle Rock, shall we? Let's get some specs out of the way. As I said, this is a tiny little, no, this is an enormous knife. You are looking at 4 1/8 inches of cutting on 4 1/4 inches of S90V. From tip to tail, we are coming in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 3/4 inches. Grip area from behind the swell here is almost 4 1/2 inches. However, because of this sort of neutral shape, you really can hold on to this thing anywhere you want it to. Right? Closed length of the Eagle Rock, almost 5 1/2 inches. The in-the-pocket profile is actually pretty reasonable. It's got a very, very low-profile flipper tab. If we line that up, inch and a little over 1 1/4 inches, coming up on 1.5 inches up here at the heaviest end, widest end. It's thick, not including the pocket clip, because that'd be outside the pocket. You're looking at a little over 1/2 inch. Still, I think it's gorgeous. All right, let's do some size comparisons with knives you may be a little more familiar with. How about a full-size grip, which by comparison to the Eagle Rock is not a full-size anything. How about a 940 from the nice folks at Benchmade? I've had a bunch of 940s. I got this one recently. This is S90V and carbon fiber. I really like this one. Slightly more modern tool, Hogue Deca. What do we have that's big? Well, oh, you may be a little more familiar with this. Here it is against the Yojumbo. And the Eagle Rock is bigger than that. Eagle Rock is a big knife. If you're going to spend a lot of money on a knife, it's got to meet you where you need it to meet you. It's got to do what you need it to do, and it's just got to be what you need it to be, right? I knew this. I'd seen the red carbon fiber, the more recent version of this. I knew it was a big knife. And still, when the box got here and I opened this thing up, I just sort of spent a little while just kind of looking at it, because it's a big knife. And that's what I wanted. This thing goes in my pocket a lot. Unfortunately, the titanium up here at the bolster, yeah, you're not going to be able to see that. This is collector nonsense, but it's kind of a rough titanium. It's not smooth. And so it shows wear pretty quick. And you know what? I don't care. I mean, the collector in me cares, but I don't care beyond that. The blade is a lovely sort of media wash. So it looks very shiny, but it won't show wear super quick, which is really nice. The action on this thing is so good. I'm not really a thumb disc guy generally, but the design on this really puts it to work in the right way. And of course, as I said, that flipper is really, I wonder if I can fail this. Yeah, I can if I just push button it and hold it, I can get in the way up here. But if I light switch it at all, it just pops right open. You know whose fault this is? This is Metal Complex's fault. He was doing one of his, hey, I'm looking at Blade Binge. Oh, sorry about that. There's some oil on the table. He was doing one of his looking over Blade Binge's website things, and this was there, and I went, yeah. So I blame him. Let's weigh it, shall we? It is not a light knife. Bob DeMarco over at the Knife Junkie has a really good discussion and interview with Bob Terzuola, and you should go check that out. So this thing comes in at 7.3 ounces. Again, for a 9.5-inch knife, that's not bad. Here's the thing. This is one of the things I love about knives. If there is a pattern that you like by a designer that you like, and they've been around a while, it is likely that they have brought their style, their ideas to more than one company. And that means that you will likely be able to get the super expensive fancy version if you want to, but you can also get stuff that's less expensive, more available. If I hadn't had these, particularly the CTF here from Drop, I would not have chased this that hard. But I absolutely fell in love with the way this thing carries and cuts. I know it's not the same knife, but the design carries over. Should you run out and get yourself a $650 knife? No. Unless you want to. In which case, then, yes. Know what you're getting into and commit to it, but let's see how wide the blade is. The blade stock is almost 4 millimeters, which is pretty good. And as I said, through the middle, 15.5 mil. Nope, that was the wrong button. Nice job. 15.4 millimeters, a little over half an inch. Stuff like this is why I collect knives. It really is. Interesting. There's a history behind it. And yet, it does everything it's supposed to. Not only will this do all of your daily sort of EDC cutting tasks, you got to have big pockets, but your daily EDC cutting tasks, but in a real pinch, this thing is, well, it is useful in many arenas. And I really like that about pocket knives. They will cut your salami. I probably should have used a different analogy. They will slice up your sandwich meat. That sounds better. When you need them to, and also open packages, cut rope. Get you out of trouble, if you needed it to. Whatever. My point is that a pocket knife is a tool, and it is one of the more useful tools. This one is a really excellent combination of useful tool and art. And on that note, we're going to wrap it up. This is the CKF Eagle Rock. This one is, in fact, number 159 of, I think, this run was about 500, maybe less, 250. Because they've done 2 runs of this, I think they'll probably do another one, but who knows? Keep your eyes open on like Arizona Custom or Blade Binge if you're looking for one. I did see another one pop up on Blade Binge not a couple of months after I got this, so they're out there. Is it worth the money? Well, it is to me. And if you like Bob Terzuola's designs and you're interested in something that looks like this, it will probably be worth it to you, but you can always go get, well, particularly the clap here from MKM. These are available right now on Blade HQ. Nice little knife. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any questions about this or any of my knives, feel free to ask down in the comments below. And remember, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. We'll see you next time.